This is Yingge dance, and if you are seeing this, you probably have guessed that we've arrived in the very heart of Chaoshan culture. Welcome to day 6 of our Guangdong Adventure. Leaving Shanwei behind, we set off on a 2-hour drive to one of southern China's most famous hometown of overseas Chinese, Shantou. The Xiaogongyuan Historic District is the city's most iconic neighborhood and the perfect place to start exploring. Often considered the cultural heart of Shantou, it's where overseas Chinese heritage, traditional Chaoshan culture, maritime history, and an incredible food scene all come together. If there's one place you simply can't miss in Shantou, this is it.
我们现在已经到了汕头了，然后一下车就看到了一个好漂亮的九龙壁，然后哇，这边有一个观音庙、老妈宫，好漂亮啊！你看看人家的画的，这
分头人三结义，
哇，这也太，这是供的关羽吗？哦，你看那个顶上，你看那上面。
This Guanyin temple is a beautiful example of traditional Chaoshan architecture, perfectly capturing a famous local saying, imperial grandeur in the capital, exquisite craftsmanship in every Chaoshan home. It's a way of praising the extraordinary level of detail, artistry, and cultural richness found in Chaoshan folk architecture. The craftsmanship is so elaborate and refined that people often say it rivals that of royal residences. Just look at the temple roof. It's decorated with one of Chaoshan's most distinctive art forms, intricate porcelain inlay. Skilled craftsmen carefully cut colorful porcelain pieces and embed them into rooftops and walls using lime mortar, creating vivid three-dimensional scenes of legendary figures, flowers, birds, dragons, and phoenixes. Even high up along the roof ridges, every tiny detail is designed to be admired from below. The figures look almost lifelike, bursting with color that remains remarkably vibrant over time. Gathered across the rooftops like a lively theater performance, these characters bring beloved folk tales and heroic legends to life, while also expressing the Chaoshan people's hopes for prosperity, good fortune, and the values of loyalty and righteousness passed down through generations. As you continue walking towards the heart of the district, the streets gradually open up into a fan-shaped layout centered around the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Pavilion. Xiaogongyuan is home to the largest concentration of historic arcade buildings in China by total floor area. Most of these buildings were constructed in the 1930s, and this is where the story of modern Shantou first began. The district was also one of China's earliest experiments in modern urban planning, reflecting the era when overseas Chaoshan Chinese invested in the development of their hometown. Even today, the original city layout remains remarkably intact, with its radiating streets, pedestrian arcades, and traditional Chaoshan architecture all thoughtfully designed around the waterfront. The neighborhood is a fascinating blend of influences. European eclecticism, neoclassical details, and the distinct charm of Southeast Asian architecture come together to create a unique East meets West character that you won't find anywhere else. Every old building here has a story to tell. bearing witness to Shantou's rise and transformation as a thriving treaty port over the past century. As we wandered through the streets, people around us seemed completely immersed in the atmosphere of the old town. There was always something new catching our eye, and every few steps, another reason to stop, look up, and admire the beauty of this place. By dinner time, we found a local Chaoshan restaurant right in Xiaogongyuan to try one of the region's most famous culinary experiences, a traditional feast of raw shrimp and sliced raw fish.
蘸芥末酱，这是鱼生，还有配菜跟酱料。吃的话就把鱼夹一两片放碗里，然后配菜的话没几口就每样来一点。淋上这个小半勺的酱料，放碗里搅拌一下。
好，谢谢。这是蘸这个，蘸这个芥末。
这是鱼生，那个是虾生。
这是虾吧？这是鱼，这是虾生。
非常新鲜。
真的是非常非常新鲜。我还拿了个鱼，鱼呢要拌它这个小菜，放到一起，蘸蘸它的那个酱啊，然后放点那个洋葱啊、咸菜呀，还有那个香菜呀，好多小菜在里边。好吃！哇，这是大虾。尝一口这个干贝，好烫的吧？好鲜啊吧！主要是这个汤全部都浸着那个鲜虾干贝的那个味道，特别鲜。哇，这大虾！
In Chaoshan, the rich architectural heritage is only part of the story. Even more famous is Yingge dance, a folk tradition that has been passed down for centuries. Combining dance, martial arts, and elements of traditional opera, Yingge is a large-scale group performance traditionally performed by men. It's bold, powerful, and bursting with energy. In many ways, it couldn't be more different from the gentle and reserved image that Chaoshan people often present in daily life. Yet perhaps that's exactly why it feels like such an authentic reflection of their spirit. Here, whenever there's a celebration or a lively gathering, you are likely to come across these electrifying parade processions. To the Chaoshan people, Yingge dances embody heroism, symbolize good fortune, and are believed to possess the power to ward off evil. Wherever the troupe performs, crowds quickly gather. Residents along the route often set off firecrackers to welcome them, believing that homes blessed by the Yingge dance will enjoy peace and protection for years to come. Shantou's stories are hidden within the bricks and the tiles of its arcade buildings, but they are equally woven into the warmth and bustle of everyday life. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and flavor. Our Guangdong adventure is almost coming to an end. In the next episode, we will be heading to Chaozhou, a city steeped in history, tradition, and timeless charm. So make sure to subscribe and join me as we continue our journey through the poetry and warmth of Lingnan. See you in the next one.